Hey, everybody, I want to welcome you all to the Discovering Your Destiny podcast. I'm your host, Athena Renee, and I'm so thrilled to embark on this incredible journey with all of you. In each episode, we're going to be exploring the secrets to discovering your true destiny and how it can lead to profits, a peace of mind, and life fulfillment. So let's dive right in. First of all, if this is your first time here, I want to send a warm welcome out to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you are my OG subbies, I want to send a shout out to you. What's up, gang? Listen, today we're going to be talking about the number one secret to stay ahead as a misfit. Well, listen, let me back up a little bit here for my first time viewers and listeners. Check this out. On this show, we talk about discovering your destiny in all type of business tactics for nonprofit organization builders and founders, as well as small business owners, freelancers, people that want to start up, or if you just simply want to level up your career. We talk about all of the strategies and tactics that you can use as being the black sheep of the family, the misfit, or just someone that really wants a competitive edge. I have been a life mastery coach for over 20 years, and I've helped so many people change their lives, whether that be through resume services, mock interviews, helping them create the content for their nonprofit organization, or graphic designs and content design for e-commerce stores. All right. I've helped multiple celebrity brands, including the Housewives franchise, some of the top celebrity home builders in the Southeast and Southwest. My passion has always been to help everyday people. I started off as a blue collar in the blue collar industry, and when I experienced as well as observed how good people can lose their job due to layoffs, cuts, um, maybe some type of merger, or just mainly a business move that was made that gave no consideration to the blue collar or to the middle class. It was in that moment in time when I decided that the only security that I could have for me and my family and my lifestyle was to discover my own destiny and figure out why am I here so that I could secure the bag in that manner. Okay. And after many trial and error ups and downs and seminars and books and classes, I finally arrived at a place where I was able to scale my business to six figures. So excited about that. So proud of that moment because it took me so long. I mean, I bootstrapped everything. I do not come from a business background. As I told you, I come from a blue collar background. So the only thing that I truly had going for myself was a hard work ethic. I really truly believe in value in working hard for what you want. Um and that's really what kept me in the game. And I'm going to tell you the next thing that kept me in the game. That's what we're going to be discussing today. And this is really going to help you stay ahead of the game as a misfit, or just really want to keep that competitive edge in general. Okay, what I'm going to be discussing and teaching you today, you can apply it anywhere in your life. Okay, what I love about the Discovering Your Destiny show is that majority of the tactics that we're talking about, even if I don't mention it, you will be able to apply these things in your business, in your nonprofit, in your career, or in your personal life, whether that be a weight loss goal or trying to create a better environment for your family. Okay. So, like I said, well, that's a little bit about me. So let's get into this topic because, as I was saying, today we're going to be talking about the number one secret to stay ahead as a misfit. Listen, this is a mindset shift to stay ahead of the game and in demand, really, is what it is. Okay. Um, one thing as being a misfit or an underdog. Okay. And here's before I even get into that part, I want to say this about when I talk about being the misfit of the underdog. A lot of times, First of all, I want you to understand when I say misfit, underdog, or black sheep, they're all interchangeable. Okay. And a lot of times you have discovered it in your family at a young age, or you discovered it along the way on your journey. But here's something else too that I realized. You could have also been the type of person that never was a misfit. You always were on the in crowd. You always had things pretty much going your way. I don't want to say easy because you don't have to be an underdog to go through life trials and tribulations, because nobody gets away without experiencing that part of life. But what I'm saying is, you may have came up in a situation where you had a lot of things favored towards you. However, you could have experienced something that put you in the predicament and put you in a situation where you are now the underdog. So, for an example, maybe you had everything going for you, and then all of a sudden, now you're the only person in your family that got a divorce, right? So now you kind of feel like an outsider. You kind of feel alienated a little bit, right? I want you to know that you are so welcome here, because, again, we have something, a little bit of something for everyone. But I want you to know that this is a destination, an ultimate destination for people that feel as if they can identify with being a misfit, black sheep, or the underdog. All right. So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about a secret mindset shift so that you can stay ahead of the game and in demand. Because here's the deal: as a misfit, right, or an underdog, or the black sheep, you have had more than your fair share of doors closed, um, stiffed of opportunities, and just really being treated unfairly, right? And I don't like to get into the life's unfair thing and all of that, because it's never been fair, right? But the thing is, we all get opportunities, we all get chances. Okay. And so the only thing that we can control is, when we do get our chance, what do we do with the chance? Right? Regardless of you, whatever your opinions about the way things are in life and these, and whatever else things that you want to, you know, indulge in that other people may not agree with, we can all agree and say that we all end up getting some type of chance that we can expand on. Okay. And today I'm going to talk to you about an acronym that I came up with, just really thinking about the times that we're in right now, because things are changing so much. I was literally at a warehouse that specializes in all of the products on TikTok. Okay. It was really, they're just building it. And this lets you know how fast social media and the world is changing. It's changing fast, but it's also providing opportunities. Okay. Because who knew that TikTok would have so much traffic, would have such a high influence that they would be able to actually contract a complete warehouse to be able to push their product out? That's telling you that social media is very powerful, because in that particular facility, it was about 500,000 square feet. Okay, they had all iPads, right? All their technology was up to date. They even had the robots doing some of their business, right? Doing some of their warehouse tasks. I'm saying all that to say, if we're living in a time that is changing so fast, we're bringing in AI technology, all type of things. What can you do as an underdog to make sure you stay in demand, to make sure you stay ahead of the game? And as I was riding down the street, it came to me, and the acronym came to me as ABL. That's A as in apple, B as in boy, L as in Larry. ABL. Do you know what ABL stands for? ABL stands for always be learning. Okay? Always be learning. All right. And I know it sounds so simple, but when I promise you, I'm going to break this down for you because I truly believe this is how you stay ahead of the game. This is how you stay in demand, even if it's just in demand at your job, right? It may just be you're staying in demand to give them ideas. They always come to you for ideas when it's time to innovate things, right? So when I talk about staying in demand, it does not necessarily mean that you have to have some huge social media calling or following. You don't have to have some huge organization. You could simply want to have more influence at your job, okay? But again, this can also be used in your company, in your freelancing business, right? And obviously in your career and your nonprofit. All right. ABL is a always be learning mindset, always be learning state of mind. And there's three ways you can apply this. Okay. The first way that you can apply the ABL state of mind is the most obvious. Number one, you want to always learn new things. Always be open to learning new things, right? And I know some of you are like, ABL, always be learning. It may not be good grammar, but when I tell you it's a good state of mind to have, it will not fail you. Okay, I just want you to make sure you keep this framework that I give you. So don't forget, grab pen and paper and take notes on this. Because even if you just posted the three letters in your cubicle, your office, your desk, and your car, every single thing that you go through in life can be an experience, right? ABL, it can be a learning experience. So, as I said, the first piece is always, learn new things. Okay. Now, here's the deal. I'm quite aware that I am very much aware that there's so many new things that come out on a regular basis, you can't possibly keep up, right? So, how do you figure out what you need to learn? First of all, you need to figure out what are the things that are most important to you. What are your values? What do you value? Right? Do you value having a good work ethic? Do you value having a good, strong relationships with your family? Do you value other like health and wealth? What are the things that you value? When you can identify the things that you value, then you can start talking about how how you can implement learning new things, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, if you value let's say for you if you val- excuse me you value being an influencer at your job, right? And let's say that you work in hospitality management. Okay. The new things that you can be learning in hospitality management might be new technology that they have out, new ways that they have sales and promotions. You can learn about new trends that they're having, right? So, for an example, when people, and people still are, but when that vegan craze, when a lot of vegan stuff really started taking off, that could have been something that you could have been researching for the company. Let's say, for instance, if you have a nonprofit organization, right? You want to always be learning. What do you want to learn about? Maybe you want to learn about the trends in the nonprofit and philanthropy industries. Maybe you want to learn about new technology on how people can send donations to you, right? Here's how it can work in your family. You really value family time. So maybe you can learn a new craft, a new family game that you want to present to your family and family night or game night, right? Maybe there's a new way that people are getting together and spending more time with their family, right? So you want to learn new techniques and trends that align with your values, right? Pretty much what that means is learn something new that aligns with the priorities of your life. Right? Just like many of us, we're always talking about updating our phone. It's so funny to me that people talk about updating their phone, getting new technology. I check people out, they have the watch on, they're all synced up and everything. But when you ask them what new skills they have learned to expand their brain and their learning capacity, they can't tell you anything. Right? So this is what I mean about learning new things that are aligns with your values. Next up, relearning. Always think about relearning things, right? What do I mean by that? Listen, you have great skills already under your belt. You already have good things. You got good stuff. You know how I know you got good stuff? Because you wouldn't be as far as you are right now. But guess what? Sometimes we need to relearn, not rebrush, brush up and relearn those things. Why? Because the saying goes, what you don't use, you lose. So what I like to do is there was a skill that I learned when I was working at Burger King a long time ago, and my manager, rest well, he showed me how to calculate up the change without using a calculator. He taught me how to count money back without using a calculator. And when I tell you guys, that was such a refreshing, great skill to know that if someone gave me whatever, if the order was 10.69 and he gave me $20, I know I'm going to give him back 9.31. Okay, that skill was so wonderful. It made me feel so empowered to know that I don't even have to get on the calculator. I can just I know exactly how much money I'm giving you. And let me tell you guys something too. When I go to gas stations, when I go to different places, I always brush up on this skill because it is so cool that when they tell me a fee, they tell me the amount of my total, and I can give them money and I can instantly tell them how much money they're going to give me back. A lot of times the cashier don't even know. The cashier don't even know. There's been so many times when I went to Walmart and you know how sometimes instead of it telling them how much it's giving me back, it'll blank out. They don't even be knowing. But guess what? Because I continue to brush up on that skill of learning how to count money back, I can tell them instantly how much money I am due back. And they always look amazed. Okay? So brush up on your skills. Brush up on your skills. Here's another one. It might be hobbies. Listen, even in your relationships, okay? And we're gonna get into all of these things on this show, right? But even with relationships, one thing about relationships is you could be in a relationship with someone, but just because they liked something when you first met them, that does not mean that they will continue to like that same thing. So you have to make sure you brush up, you relearn them, right? They might be completely different in a different place than they are when they met you. This is why it's always good to brush up and relearn the things that you need to learn, right? That are most important to you. And number 3, the last tip that you really need to apply to the ABL mindset is mastering the fundamentals. Listen, this one right here is so powerful. Bruce Lee once said that I am not afraid of the man that knows 100 kicks, but I am afraid of the man that knows one kick and he has done it 100 times. What is that telling you? That is telling you that this man has mastered the fundamentals. He took one thing, one simple thing, and mastered it. Now, when I'm talking about fundamentals to you, it may not necessarily be one task, right? Again, this is all about you identifying what is most important to you. What are the things that makes your life better? What are the things that make you a more effective leader, person, and or family man or woman? Okay, what are those things? So, for an example, one of the main things that come to mind for me when I'm talking about the fundamentals, I'm going to tell you two, but the first one comes to mind instantly, and that is communication. Communication, right? The fundamentals. Okay, for an example, I'm from up north, right? And when I came down south, I realized a lot of people had different accents, right? And here's the deal, when you start hanging in certain areas, not even just in certain areas, but when you're around people a lot, it's just like this. If we went out to Texas and we was out in Texas for a long time, you could be from New York City, but after a while, you're going to catch that slang. Okay. They might always be able to tell that you're from New York, but you're going to catch that slang a little bit. Okay. So I'm saying all that to say this. I have realized that, man, in the South, they take a lot of words and shorten them, right? And here's the deal, there's nothing wrong with that in a casual setting. But when I want to start teaching my classes, traveling abroad, going to different seminars and webinars and teaching people that are not from the South, or just for the level of the way that I want to be in my own vocabulary and vernacular and grammar, I needed to brush up on the fundamentals. Why? Because when you, on a regular basis, you lose it if you're not using it all the time. So that's just one side of it, just grammar and things like that. But communication, also learning that and remembering that communication is a actively listening while the other person is speaking. Because nowadays we have a lot of people, they will ask you a question, then they'll cut you off before you can even answer the question, right? So that means they have forgotten the fundamentals of communication. So when I'm talking about the fundamentals, do not forget, master the fundamentals. Always keep that mindset, always be learning. I'm going to tell you the other one that I wanted to talk to you about really quickly, under mastering the fundamentals and how important it is. When I started off in becoming an entrepreneur, there was one particular skill set that I had learned about lightly, and I really was interested in it, but it was kind of boring, right? And I did not master it. And that one thing that I did not master was the reason that, number one, it slowed down my progress. Okay. And it was also the reason that even though I was getting sales in every time with every business that I got sales in, but it was the reason that I did not have a lot of returning customers. I had to always go out and get new customers every time because I wasn't nurturing the customers that I got. And that skill set is email marketing. Okay. See, we heard a lot about emails and sign up for the free offer and all these different things. And you have to plug in the email here and do these different things. And it sounded so complicated, but true enough, it could have different complications, but true enough, it was really easy because email marketing is all about having a conversation with people that say they're interested in what you have to offer, right? And because I did not respect that fundamental of building a business online, it slowed down my progress. I cannot tell you that I did not make any progress. But when I'm talking about accelerating and really taking off, that right there was something that held me back for a very long time until I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and master email marketing because it's not going anywhere. And that is the fundamentals of having a business online. Okay? So listen, I'm going to go ahead and recap that, having that ABL mind, state of mind. That's to always be learning. Listen, always be learning. I'm just going to drop this one last one on you when I'm talking about number one, which is learning new things. Listen, in technology, in the online world, information technology that we have right now, there's always something new coming out, right? There's always something. So what you have to do is, again, you have to pick and choose the things that align with your values, your business, and the things that are a priority to you. And for me, since I'm all about accelerating the process and the journey for the misfits and the underdogs, I like to make sure I go out and learn about new technology and tips that will help you as well as myself. So here recently, I have dived into Chat GPT. Okay, I have dived into it. And as time go on, I'll be presenting more information about it and talking to you about how you can use it in your business, your nonprofit, and in your career as well. Very exciting stuff. But again, I want you to understand that what I'm teaching you, I am implementing it in my life as well. Okay? So listen, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget, if this content helps you in any way, please don't forget to like it, share it, leave us some comments and let us know how we're doing and any other questions that you may have. And one other thing before I forget, just for hanging out with me today. I left you a gift in the description box or in the about area. That is a gift from myself to you that will really help you with your social media game. It's going to take a lot of guesswork out of remaining consistent online and having an engaged tribe of people that will really enjoy your news feed. So listen to me here. We went through this ABL mindset, and what I want you to understand is that everything that you need to have to succeed in life, no matter what it is that you want, you already have it. It's already within you. It's just waiting to be unveiled. Okay? So what I want you to learn to do is trust in yourself and embrace the journey and let your passion guide you. Okay? Your destiny is your birthright, right? Nobody else can have it. When you really tap into that, all of that competition and people that are competitive, it completely is hogwash. Okay? So I want you to make sure you continue to check in with us and get this information that you need so that you can discover your destiny and live a life on purpose. All right? Listen, until next time, I want you to stay encouraged and remember your destiny awaits. Until next time, keep discovering and living your life on a purpose filled level. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.